Okay.
You're fine there? Good. So,
Yeah?
we're running.
Okay. Minister,
Hello there.
expectations for this assembly here in Korea?
Well, it is this assembly that we hope, all of us delegates, that it will be able to position the tourism sector going forward. I think time and again in the Executive Council meetings where we have met at the WTTC in Las Vegas and the last General Assembly, the problem of tourism's inability to communicate itself to its own national governments and getting the importance that it deserves in terms of fiscal appropriation and planning has become a persistent feature. So I hope, and we hope, that this General Assembly, the 19th session, will be able to achieve that. And from the submissions that were made this morning and that continue to be made even as people start responding to the Secretary General's own speech, it would appear that there's consensus on the collective ability through the UNWTO to communicate the importance of tourism to national economies. And I know that the Golden Book, which is a feature in actually bringing awareness to the presidency of countries on the role that tourism plays, will continue to be a major feature in the intervening period between 2011 and 2013. So tourism must be given its rightful place in national economies. It is no longer just a packaging of features and history and culture. It is about packaging of countries. It is also very clear from the discussion going on in there that peace and stability will continue to be the critical success factor of a successful tourism product. You can have all the World Heritage destinations, good people, but if the destination is unstable, people will not visit you. And the statistics that we receive, or that we are receiving on North Africa and the Middle East, are testimony to that theory.
Now, Zimbabwe appears to be a good example of really the climbing political positions of tourism.
I think we have understood this peace and stability critical success factor. We're going through our own meltdown period from about 1998 to 2008, a decade of meltdown. And it was really born out of perception where people, through the media, imagined that Zimbabwe was possibly a war zone because of the conflict that was taking place and taking root there. But there was no physical confrontation. It was just a departure or a disagreement on the approach in terms of how people of Zimbabwe wanted to be governed. But that was interpreted to mean that Zimbabwe was unstable. But having understood that, we, on the back of the consummation of an inclusive government, ushered in a regime of peace and quiet, which has been communicated to the entire world that we are good for business. And that message has been basically the critical success factor of our tourism product.
So you think the perception has changed?
The perception has significantly changed. Today we have no regime of travel advisories, negative travel advisories imposed on the country. Negative travel advisories are the first feature of non-endorsement of a destination. I think we enjoy now a clean bill of health, but in addition to that, we are holding our own fort in international bodies, this one included, where I sit in the Executive Council together with other 30 or so members. And I've leveraged that seat to gain access to international source markets that were otherwise either too close to us.